the Rams defend home turf and get a win here. What a game this was. Los Angeles Rams, top 5 graded players in this game, starting off with wide receiver Puka Nacua, a 92.3. Offensive tackle Alaric Jackson and offensive tackle Rob Havenstein back-to-back here at number 2 and 3 with an 89.5 and an 85.6. Defensive tackle Kobe Turner with an 81.1 and wide receiver Cooper Kupp an 80.5. Quarterback Matthew Stafford, one of the best games that you'll see from a quarterback this season. A 93.5 overall grade. He was unbelievable in this one. Not to make light of what the guy on the other side of things did. Buffalo's side of the grades, edge rusher Von Miller, 84.7. Wide receiver Amari Cooper, 79.0. Offensive guard David Edwards with a 74.8. Wide receiver Khalil Shakir with a 73.2. Cornerback Christian Benford with a 68.2. And then I mentioned Josh Allen, a 90.1 elite PFF grade to try to keep up with Matthew Stafford. And boy, it was fun going back and forth all night with these two quarterbacks. Sad to tell the story here.
Okay, I know I do this every week, and you're probably sick of me saying it, but it's, as usual, the Rams pass protection. That this is just
a good one.
Good
one for them.
In a good way.
Because some have been bad.
I think
some have been tough.
Absolutely. I think I'd have to go back and look and see how many times this is what I've gone with for the Rams, because it's just what it is.
Yeah.
68.7 pass pro grade as a team in this game. No sacks allowed. 35 dropbacks for Stafford. Pressured 9 times. Clean pocket. 18 to 22. 248, 2 touchdowns, 2 big-time throws. 94.9 passing grade. Third highest graded passer this season in a clean pocket. He's an older quarterback. He's still got a rifle. He can make any throw he wants to. Just protect him. When the Rams do it, in their, what is it now? They have 7 wins. They're 7-6. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
There's 7 wins. Their pass pro grade is somewhere, I think it's around a 65 or so. And in their 6 losses, it's a 40. This is just where we're at. When they protect Matt Stafford, they can beat anybody. Including
blocking support. Who knew?
Extremely. Especially for this specific team. I don't think there's any team with a greater split of when they pass protect versus when they don't, and winning and losing ball games this year. Because we've seen it in the New England game, in this game, we've seen it in a million other games this year. When he's protected, they're going to score a lot of points. As long as obviously Nacua and Kupp are healthy too, because how darn good was Puka Nacua in this game. But that's it. That's it for me. I know the real story is the quarterbacks, but for the Rams, if they protect Stafford, they can beat anybody. Any one-game scenario, this is not the team I'm trying to see because of this single factor. If they pass protect, he can put up 44 points on you just like this.
Rams efficiency was the stat that told the story for me. 11 for 15 on third down. That's 73%. 1 for 1 on fourth down. Obviously 100 there, and 83% in the red zone. We talked about Patrick Mahomes on third down when we opened up the show. Matthew Stafford, 91.9 passing grade on third down. This dude was unbelievable last night. He was playing the quarterback position at about as good of a rate as you could possibly play, and they needed every bit of it to beat this Buffalo Bills team, because the fun part about this game, which included 84 points, no sacks, no turnovers for either team, was that I kind of hinted at this. Last month, on this show and on the preview show, I've talked a lot about the Buffalo Bills, and I've talked about them as the most balanced team in the NFL. Like them and the Detroit Lions. Like Detroit, you can obviously throw in there. But they ran the ball so well. They passed the ball so well. Whether it was wide receivers, whether it was tight ends, whether the deep passes, short passes, whether it was the explosive runs or the runs that you just needed to set you up in good second and third down situations, whatever it was. And the best part about it was Josh Allen was whatever they needed him to be for any of those situations. And that's why I felt as though he deserved to be heavily in the MVP conversation, even if some other quarterbacks might have better numbers, because when you look at what he has been asked to do and who he has been asked to be for this team, I'm not taking anything away from Joe Burrow when I say this, but Joe Burrow goes into every game for the Cincinnati Bengals knowing if I don't ball out, we lose. And it's sometimes easier as a mentality to just go, I have to be the man in this game. We just talked about this with Kyler Murray and how I'm still sort of waiting for him to get to this point of like who he is as a quarterback. Josh Allen is there, where Joe Brady, their offensive coordinator, nobody's going to say this to him before the game, but like in the middle of the game, you could feel it. Like, he could probably say to Josh, like, hey, let's lean on the run game a little bit here. These guys are running the ball really well. Guys are kicking ass up front. Let's lean into the running game a little bit here.
That's what last week was. Yeah.
And it can be, and Josh can go, okay, and he can throttle down. Or he can ramp up. In this game, very clearly it was like, okay, Buffalo's, doing their thing. They're very balanced. They're trying to keep pace. And then once the Rams really started to ramp it up, I think that he probably got on the phone or the headset or something with Joe Brady, and Joe Brady was like, it's time, brother. Unleash. And Josh went, okay. And the second he said that, he became everything they needed him to be. For as good as the Los Angeles Rams played in this game, they won by 2 points at home. I'm almost, not quite, but almost more impressed by the Buffalo Bills losing this game, but losing it as closely as they did, as I am the Rams, because the Bills were able to kick it into high gear immediately. With Josh Allen saying, they gave him the cape. They gave him the uniform, and they said, be Superman. And he went, okay, and immediately did it, especially in that third and fourth quarter. So this was just such a fun football game. And again, so much praise to what the Rams were able to do. Kyron Williams was doing his thing like he always does. The wide receivers were unbelievable. I talked about how Matthew Stafford played about as good of a game as you're going to see from the quarterback position. But they needed all of that just to win by 2 after scoring 44 points. And that's a Josh Allen stat as well that I think that needs to get recognized here.
When it happened, when the Rams blocked the punt and returned it for a touchdown, it was 17-7.
Yes,
that's when it happened.
Yeah,
that's because you look around, and if you're Joe Brady and you go, oh, we're in this type of game where we're going to get this weird special teams play against us. And we're down 10 early, and that's I can tell you right now that's the exact moment it happened. When they blocked that punt and it was 17-7, they said, all right, Josh, this is one of these days because there's other things that aren't happening for us right now. And my most impressive, I'm just going to tip my Mellon Brandon hat to both quarterbacks. Stafford, incredible. Allen, 89.1 overall. The only other game this season, I had to find this, the only other game this season where both quarterbacks graded this high was actually Trevor Lawrence versus Joe Flacco in the Jags' first win of the year when those two went back and forth. I think that game was 37-34. That's the only other game where two quarterbacks graded this high in the same game this year. Both of them, they were fantastic. It was about as, on both sides, almost, I have another thing I'll get to, almost as perfect an offensive game as you could play on both sides of the of this game. It just a terrific football game for sure. I do that. You go with yours first, and then I have the big gripe because I think there's a couple other guys who deserve some credit here.
Yeah, I mean, so most impressive, it could be a lot of different things. Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, the duo that they are, is unbelievable. 17 catches on 22 targets from the two of them, 254 yards just to those two receivers, 2 touchdowns, over 75% threat percentage. I mean, this is the offense. And it's crazy because every single week, that's no slight to Jordan Whittington or Demarcus Robinson either. Like, good football players. But very clearly, they're going to throw the ball to Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. And every defense knows it, and there's not a damn thing they can do about it. And so it was just an incredible day for both of those two guys. I mean, the catch from Nacua at the sideline.
Oh,
the toe tap catch?
Yeah. The throw on that also.
Yeah, I mean, it's might be catch of the year. I'm not gonna lie. Like, everybody loves the one-handed and like the
Garrett Wilson. I mean,
which Garrett Wilson catch?
The Thursday night one against the Texans. The jump man one.
Good one.
That's
a good one.
I mean,
the cool one's sick.
It's like the biggest. Yeah, it was. No, it was nasty. I get it.
I think the only reason why I bring it up is because everybody loves to go to the one-handed catches as like catch of the year, but I need to give some love to the toe tap.
It's a funky angle too from the far hash, the opposite hash. I think Stafford threw it from on a route that was only about 12 yards on a crosser or a horizontal kind of route. And Stafford still had to kind of arc it over like that. Like, it's not a normal throw either. To think of that throw makes no sense at all. And that's the luxury of having Matt Stafford, is that he's one of the 3 or 4 guys in the league that can make throws that you think aren't possible. And then the toe tap too is just, it feels like we've said it the last few weeks we've been watching games, just how darn good Puka Nacua is.
Yep.
He's just that good.
Yep.
And you talk about the best pairs of receivers in football. We've had Jefferson, Addison already, Brown and Smith in Philly, Chase and Higgins here. These two are right up there. We already saw Cooper Kupp darn near,
Right.
have the greatest season maybe ever by a receiver a couple of years ago, and Nacua is just as good. It's nuts.
Most disappointing, I guess the Bills' run game. James Cook only gets 6 carries for 20 yards in this one, but very clearly the script was not going to allow them to run the ball as much as they normally like to run the ball.
They got the glory last week.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't really have a most disappointing in this one. Sure, you could look to the defensive side of the ball and you want to be like, whoa, hold on. Defense both give up 40 points. I'm giving so much more credit to the quarterbacks and the offenses than I am really getting on the defense for this one. It was just an unstoppable night for both offenses. Who's your most disappointing?
Okay. I'm going to need an extra second. The two things that I'm most concerned with as far as the Bills Super Bowl talk both popped up in this game. One, obviously they gave up 44 points. That's an issue. They are 19th in the league in defensive grade this season. Their 5 highest graded games on defense, all right? They've come against the Colts with Joe Flacco, Jacksonville, Seattle on the road. That was a great game. That was the best defensive game they played all year. Miami with Tua for half the game, and Tennessee. This is still not an elite defense. There are days against teams like that where they look like it, but I still worry about this defense come postseason time when they're playing Kansas City, Baltimore, what have you. The other thing, I'm doing it again. I'm going to keep saying it until someone actually does it. This end-of-game situation, when they were down by 9, I just don't understand it. Again and again, when teams are down 9, 10, or 11. And the big one that's been talked about, and rightfully it was a mistake. You had all 3 timeouts in your pocket. When they got down to the 1 and they ran the quarterback sneak and didn't get it and then burned a timeout, that's not even the biggest mistake. You know where I'm at on this. I was screaming it yesterday. When they got the DPI on 4th and 15, they got the DPI.
Yep.
They got the ball at the 15.
Yep.
They have 3 timeouts and about a minute 10, minute 15 to go. Kick the field goal right there. I'm going to keep yelling this.
You are on this train.
This at least once a week. I see this. The Bills still could have won this game. When you get the DPI and you're down 9, 10, 11, and you need a field goal and a touchdown.
Yep.
You get to the 15. I get it. The touchdown's supposed to be the hard part, and that's what we want. That's the whatever. No, the hard part is getting the football twice. That's the hard part. The DPI got him inside field goal range. Easy field goal range. Kick the damn field goal. You need 10.
Immediately, first down.
On first down, right when you get the DPI. With about a minute, and all 3 timeouts, you didn't even have to onside it if you didn't want to. You just need a stop. If your defense doesn't get a stop.
So you're saying because you kick the field goal instead of going for the touchdown, you allow yourself then to have a better chance of getting the ball twice.
The goal is 10 points, and you have all 3 timeouts. It was perfectly set up for this exact scenario.
Yeah.
And instead, they went for the touchdown. They get to the 1.
I feel like you said this before, 3 weeks ago, and I didn't like it as much. I don't remember what the scenario was.
There may have been less timeouts,
I think there were less
shaky.
timeouts.
This was clear scenario right in front of you. Yes, I'm dead serious. Kick the field goal right after that pass interference.
Because then you don't have to rely on an onside kick because you can't get onside kicks.
There's sometimes I'll yell.
There's
sometimes I'll yell about this, and it's the onside kick crapshoot part. And to that point, I go, well, at least get there. This was a very real scenario, and if you make that stop, look at how Josh Allen was playing. So okay, we have to get a touchdown. If there's anyone I trust to get a touchdown with 50 seconds and no timeouts, it's Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He could find a way to do it. Give yourself a shot, and then you compound it with the sneak that didn't work and calling a timeout because you didn't have a second play called. That part, yes, that part's ridiculous, but the first error, again, the goal is 10 points, 9 points, not in some order what you need.
And then an onside.
Oh, I was beyond irritated. I'm still irritated with it because you had a shot with 3 timeouts. You had it. There's an end game goal here, not just we need it in this order and the touchdown's the hard part and this and that. That's a spot right there. That's what I talk about when I do this. When they got that pass interference. Run the field goal team out there.
How much time was left on the clock?
About a minute 10, minute 15. With 3 timeouts.
Right,
you didn't even have to onside it if you didn't want to.
Well, yeah, because the goal is to avoid an onside kick.
Absolutely.
Hold on. Okay, so they score a touchdown, but where's the DPI?
I want to say a minute 10.
Defensive pass interference, which took them to the 16-yard line. So there was 1 minute and 18 seconds left.
Plenty. If you get a stop, you get the ball back again with probably 55 seconds left.
I mean, the issue, the counterpoint here is that they scored with a minute left. So,
but they didn't have the timeout. They burned the timeout because that sneak didn't work. If they tried the sneak and then had a second play call and still had 3 timeouts, I'll let it go. But honestly, my process there is after that PI, I'm kicking it. And I don't understand how the goal is not.
I see the timeout now.
7 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 7. That's the type of math we do around here, just so we're clear. But
if they don't call the timeout, I'm a little bit more.
I might reason with it. There's too much time. There's also my problem
because they scored with a minute left, and if they would have been able to score with a minute left, and even with 50 seconds left, and you're kicking it,
even then I have an argument.
Three timeout. You have an argument if everything goes right in your favor.
Even then I have an argument because you just burned more clock scoring the touchdown.
No. That's the one that obviously you save. That's what I'm saying. If things work out correctly, you're right. Your scenario leaves more room for there to be more time on the clock. But I'm saying it only took them an extra 18 seconds to score a touchdown anyways. That's not bad.
That's a lot of time.
But that's with a timeout.
In that scenario, with the timeout burn, they ruin the whole thing.
Right.
Even an extra 18 seconds burned. I need every one I can get. Again, the first step in this to me is not kicking the field goal.
The first time you brought it up, I don't think I was there with you. For this scenario, I'm sort of there with you.
7 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 7.
That's how math works.
It is.
I did learn that.
The order does not matter. And I see this once a week from somebody down 9-10, something like this.
With 3 timeouts
where we have to score the touchdown first. We have to. No, you don't have to. You have to score 10. They had a shot to win this game. And they just...
You might have cooked. I don't know yet. I'm not...
Somebody's going to do it one of these times. I'm going to say it enough times until someone does it.
Are you going to sue them if they do it?
Absolutely not.
No?
I will come on this show and make them most impressive immediately. Just for that. Even if it doesn't work.
If you sue them, it'll give you more money. They're taking your ideas.
I got to patent it.
Yeah. Intellectual property.
That's the shirt. 7 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 7. That's the shirt. We got to get shirts made. We got to work on that.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe the video. And if you don't have a PFF Plus subscription, you can get one to see all the premium stats that we talked about here on the show, plus the expert betting and fantasy advice over at subscribe.pff.com. The description is also right below, so if you are not a PFF Plus subscriber, you can become one today.